Hey, hey, wanted to do another little update video. Not much has really changed. I bought another plant. I can't remember what that's called. Some kind of something, King Tut, something or other. Um, but it looks nice. So I bought that. The water is cleared up a lot. I mean, we're not even full sun, and I'm pretty sure you can see the fish down at the bottom. I've been able to see them all day. They've been swimming around. We did lose one today. Unfortunately, um, I was thinking that the water would stay a little bit cooler than it did, but the water got up to about 95 degrees today. So I had to add some more um, cold water back to it. That got it back down to about 90, but one of the fish went up into the shallow end and got cooked. Unfortunately, the rest of them stayed down the bottom, and they've been relatively chill for the majority of the day. Um, the algae has gotten a lot worse, and I believe that's mostly due to the water not being cloudy anymore, so more sunlight can get down there and help it grow. Um, the uh, the answer to having so much algae is to either use an algicide, something that'll just kill algae. But the problem with that is that you kill the algae dies and falls to the bottom and it either deteriorates or gets sucked into the filter, and then it just creates more of the chemical components, the nitrates and nitrites or whatever that that algae requires to grow. So whatever didn't die will just grow back more. So it's like killing it just to have to kill it again later on. The other um, better option is to put more plants in. And while I would love to, aquatic plants are rather expensive. Um, I can get some smaller plants, which like that King Tut's grass. Uh, that was like 15 bucks. The other smaller plants that I think I got those for, I think three for 15, but that was also, I had to drive an hour to get them. Um, and there's not many places around here that sell aquatic plants, unfortunately. Um, so I'm thinking about what I can do, what my options are. Um, I may go ahead and just purchase the algicide now, and put that in there, and then hopefully by the time that it starts to grow back, I'll have um, slowly bought a few more plants to put in there. Um, I also need to go ahead and build something to cover the edge to cover this side of the pond. This is the side that gets the most sun. I'd say around noon, the sun is directly behind that tree, and even still, it only shades about half of the pond. Um, and then from noon on, this other side is just getting full sunlight until, I mean, right now the sun is still shining on it. Um, so I'm gonna have to devise something, either build a shelter to go over this, or I had been looking at what I initially wanted to do was build something to one of those kind of sun sail kind of things. I looked up the material. You can get the material for relatively cheap, waterproof canvas material. I can get that for relatively cheap and get a lot of it. But then that requires me to sew, and I don't really like sewing. So, um, I don't know. I may just temporarily put up something and put a tarp over it, to keep some of the sun off, to keep the heat down and to keep the algae from growing as much as it is. But otherwise, everything seems to be looking good. Everything looks a lot better than I thought it would after I got all that silt out of there. Um, I did a couple of things. I'll actually walk over here so you can see what I did. Um, I added this filter here, and this is actually for if you have well water. Um, I need to put one on my house because I have well water. But if you have well water, then you know that you will get silt in your well water, which we get in our house. I don't know why I put one on the pond before I put one on my actual house. Priorities. So But that's really what that's for. And they sell different types of filters that you can put in there. First, I was running one that was basically just fabric wrapped around a little plastic core, and that's for, I think it was like 35 microns or whatever. We're not visible, to the naked eye particles. But then I went and got these ones, which only allow 5 micron uh, particulates to go through, and I ran that for a day and it cleared it right up. It's not getting. I switched that one. It got clogged up. It took a day, but it got clogged up to the point that barely any water was running out. So I switched it back to one of those fabric filters, and I'm just letting it rock like that. And I think what I'll do is I'll keep some of these 5 micron ones on for when it rains heavy and the water gets foggy like that, and I'll just throw it in there for a day or two, let it clear up, and then I'll switch it back to the 35 micron ones. So that is that. Yeah, I've started. I planted, or I seeded about 2 weeks ago some aquatic grass, which you can see growing up along the edge here. That is specifically aquatic grass. Is grass that specifically grows in water. Coincidentally, though, I have here, I'm not even sure if I'm aiming at it, but this is just regular grass that there just happened to be some grass material still underneath of the dirt after I made that edge, and it grew up through the dirt. So that's growing pretty good as well, and hopefully in the next month or so it'll be a little bit more dense, and that'll keep out some of that silt and whatnot. But that's what it is right now, and it's looking a lot better than I thought it would. after that first rain, I thought basically I just made myself a mud hole, but but it's looking better now, and I'm happy about that.